So I woke up this morning and my back was feeling extra spicy. Went to CrossFit, was doing okay, but anything overhead, very, very, very limited right now. So I figured I would bring you guys along the process of how I treat myself and how I treat my patients as well. So what we'll do, just to get started, I know that my mid-back is not feeling super hot right now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna lay back on the table here. I'm gonna take a deep breath in, nice and quiet, full exhale out. My goal here is to keep my back flat, try not to round the shoulders forward. Really even getting air into the rib cage. I know people talk a little bit about belly breathing, but right now that's not my intent. After I get about 5 breaths of that in, I'm going to start with the arms here. Arms are then going to go on the forehead. Same concept here. As you can see for me right now, I'm definitely fighting for this position because I'm so tense in my low back. When that happens, what I can do to make it a little bit easier for myself is I'm going to bring the legs up here. Definitely able to get a better back position. I feel my back expanding into the table. So what we're gonna do here, I'm gonna show you guys a starting position of where I'm currently at with my shoulder range of motion. So if I'm gonna come here, arms overhead, this right now is honestly about all I have before I start to dunk into a low back position. So as I come up, I can probably go around here after redoing it a few times. Again, give it a few times because if you just cold turkey it, you're gonna get those false results. That's sometimes what you see when people do before and after pictures, so just be wary of that as well. So again, I'm probably around here. I am feeling a massive stretch through my lat. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through what I just showed you guys a couple more times on my lonesome. So now that we did some of the exercises, I'm going to recheck. Honestly, still feeling pretty stiff, so I'm not expecting like huge results, but I'm gonna be completely honest. We'll see, okay? Yeah, so not a huge change with that. So I'm going to switch routes on this because again, this is why it's so important to check and then retest to see kind of where you're at. Some things might not work, and that's what we do in the office too. If something doesn't work, we're gonna change our path. This one I know is going to suck, but it's probably going to help me right now. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna grab the foam roller. I'm then gonna come over the top of the foam roller. Biggest thing on this is I'm gonna try to leave my knee down. This is kind of a struggle for me right now. So I'm going to grab a wedge for myself. So I'm gonna grab a wedge, shove it underneath my hip just to give myself a better advantage of being able to have some contact on the ground here. Gonna come under this shoulder blade here, roll over the top. I'm gonna lean into it, come around here. Same concept, quiet inhale through the nose. Exhale, come over the top. So honestly, my left side feels a lot better after doing some of those. So subjectively, feeling great. Let's go ahead, recheck, see just objectively where we're at from like a visual standpoint. So as I come overhead here, I didn't do this right side. So you can see I'm actually getting a ton more range of motion. I'm not having to jut the back forward. So I think this one's gonna be my money move for the day at least. And then we'll try to incorporate some of those other things once things calm down a bit on both sides. So cool, thanks for bearing with me guys. I hope this gives you a little insight on how I do my rehab and how I do rehab for my patients.